Good. Yeah, so what I'd like to explore this morning, and we'll use a chair for part of the physical asana. Um, so in terms of physical asana, what I want to explore is what happens in the hips and pelvis and up into the back and side waist through here, this part of the body. But really what I want to also explore is where do you find steadiness when the teachings are also pointing to fundamental groundlessness. And those teachings you can read about in a contemporary book written by Pema Chodron. It's called When Things Fall Apart. And she does talk in that book about fundamental groundlessness. So we'll be exploring what that means, what is fundamental groundlessness, but it's much harder for us to explore that concept if we don't have a feeling like the mind could be steady in asking the question. Because then we end up going to the parts of the mind or the parts of the brain that mostly get scared. And we can't conceive of the teachings because the part of the brain that goes to fear overwhelms our capacity to sense clearly. So let's set up. I'm going to push back from my computer so I won't run into it. We're going to settle in with a little meditation. Please, if you're just signing in now, you'll need a chair for class, so please go ahead and get that. And then let's rest the hands in your lap, please. And close your eyes. And let yourself begin really coming into this opportunity for your practice, which your body must have registered as an opportunity, not as a threat. So you're here sensing that opportunity rather than difficulty or threat. So in sensing this opportunity, allow your breathing, your heart, your brain, your mind, your body, as much as possible to come into agreement that you're here as an opportunity for your evolving. Allow your breath to slowly lengthen and deepen. So think of that like breath to breath to breath. You're increasing the length to your particular bandwidth, not beyond. And breath to breath, the body becomes more and more welcoming of the inhale, more supportive of the exhale. Now if you start to cultivate a kind of consistency in the length of the breath, the pauses between the breath moving parts, those two places of consistency can help your mind to feel something we might call steadiness. So gently notice the length of your inhale now and the length of your exhale. And without being dogmatic or perfectionistic, just gently pace it. If it helps, rather than counting, you can use the letters of the alphabet. So you say, inhaling A, B, C, noticing what letter your inhale goes to, and then exhaling. You can actually say those same letters in reverse. So exhaling E, D, C, B, A. It's a way of sensing that your inhale and exhale can kind of equal each other. Again, without being perfectionistic. if you're using counting or letters, try not to strive at the top of the inhale for like one more pace or one more bit of length, but really do what's breathable where your inhale can match your exhale. And please do that for 2 breath cycles more. And then bring your hands together at your heart and just notice if both this gesture and the evenness of inhale and exhale might bring on a quality of steadiness for your mind. The Yoga Sutras tell us that there are 9 obstacles to evolving or progressing in yoga, and one of them is called instability, the feeling of being unstable, or being unstable or vacillating in our commitment or our practice, but also having an unstable pace to the breath. So that reflects back to us that when we can cultivate a smooth quality to the breath, it's influencing our mind's capacity to reflect. And it influences the field into which the reflection is happening. Because a more steady experience of the breath is a more stable experience of the body. And this that we are cultivating on our yoga mats becomes what we take off of our yoga mats. So we'll start with Asatoma as our chant this morning. Let's begin. Asatoma Sadgamaya Tamasoma Jyotirgamaya Mrityorma Amritam Gamaya Om Asatoma Sadgamaya Tamasoma Jyotirgamaya Mrityorma Amritam Gamaya Om Asatoma Sadgamaya Tamasoma Jyotirgamaya Mrityorma Amritam Gamaya Om Shanti 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 Hari Om Shri Guru Pyo Namaha Hari Om. And with your exhale, you may bow your head to your heart. Release your hands. Just open your eyes. Okay, so from where you're sitting, if you can sit cross-legged in Sukhasana like we were doing yesterday, and put the right shin out in front and the left shin in on the inside. Okay, and then please raise your left arm up as you inhale And exhale, twist to your right. And inhale, raise your left arm, rotate to center. Keep the right arm behind you. Exhale, twist to your right. Inhale to rise. Try to make the pace of the breath consistent. Exhale to twist right. One more time, inhale to go up. Exhale, twist, gaze to your right and slightly down. Rotate to center, and again, equaling your inhale and your exhale. Inhale, raise your right arm. Exhale, twist left. Inhale to rise. You may be saying A, B, C, and so on. Exhale, twist. You're counting the alphabet backwards if you're using that particular tool. Inhale, rise up. Exhale, rotate, and then one more time at your body's pace. And then come around to face center. Change the cross of your ankles to the other side, please. Might be the awkward side because we usually choose our preferred, but I asked for your right out in front and then your left. Now you're switching them like that. Okay? Now take the left hand, inhale out to the side. And exhale, twist to your right. Now inhale, open left but gaze right. Exhale, twist right, gaze left. Inhale, open left, gaze right. Exhale, twist right, gaze left. One more. Inhale, open left, gaze right. Exhale, twist right, gaze left. And rotate around to center. Now for the other side. So inhale, open right, gaze left. Exhale, twist left, gaze right. Inhale, open, gaze left. Exhale, twist left, gaze right. Inhale, open to your right, gaze left. Exhale, twist left, gaze right. Once more. And exhale. Come around to center. Notice any changes in your mind's capacity for being steady, like steady, even, or smooth. And then we're going to come up to standing. And let me switch my camera. Rise up to stand on the long side of your mat, please. As to start video. Okay. Spotlight. So a wide stance, the length of one of your legs, and feet parallel. So we're going to use a similar process that you were just using. And so when you take a stance, we're going to be going up with the left arm, and we're actually going to twist down to the right. And when we twist, it is a rotation. Your pelvis is also going to go with you. So starting with the left arm, your right hand can just be behind, like as if you were a waiter or a waitress in a fine dining restaurant. Inhale, left arm up. Exhale, twist right. Inhale to rise, left arm up. Exhale, rotate, twist. Put the back of your left hand to the outside of your right leg, gaze to your right. Inhale to rise, counting or pacing for yourself. Exhale, rotate. Once more, inhale to rise. And exhale, rotate. And up to center. Okay, and then inhale, right arm forward, left arm behind you. Exhale, rotate to your left. Take the back of your right hand to the outside of your left leg. Inhale to rise, pace your inhale and your exhale to be equal as much as possible. Exhale. Inhale, rise, at your pace, of course. Last one. And then rise up to center, keeping your feet set as they are. Relax both arms. Notice any change in the stability or the steadiness of your mind. Okay, now left arm out to the side. So you're going to inhale, open left, look right. And then this time as you exhale, come down and raise your right arm. Inhale, open left, gaze right. And then exhale, come down, gazing right as you twist right. Inhale, open left, gaze right. And exhale, twist. Last one. And exhale to twist. Check and see how steady or equal you're able to make the breath. Rising up, let's do both arms wide. And then exhale, twist to your left, gaze up to your left. Inhale, rise up, right arm out to the side, gazing left. Exhale, twist left, raise your left arm. Inhale, rise up with your right arm out, gaze left. Exhale, rotate. Inhale to rise. Last one. And inhale, rise up, arms wide, palms up. Now exhale, choose one foot and step into mountain pose. And notice any sense of stability. In yoga it's called samastitihi, means even standing. Sama means even or equal, and sti is stable. So we call it samastitihi. And you can bring that to the front of your mat, please. I have to get this set up, you guys. I don't know why it's funky. There we go. Please stay. Okay. So step up to the front of your mat now for Surya Namaskar. Join your palms together at your heart. And I'm going to encourage you to pace the breath, which will seem like, oh, one extra task. If you're new to the practice, the physical practice, it can seem like one more thing to integrate. But if yoga is to deeply address not only our bodies, but also our vitality and our mind and senses, and give us a pathway back to our wisdom and the home ground we have to use the mind well during the yoga practice. So as you're inhaling, I'm going to recommend that you try the alphabet method. So you're going A, B, C, and so on. On the exhale, G, F, E. Try that and see. It'll take a little more concentration to do your alphabet backwards. So let's begin together. Ujjayi. And now inhale, Urdhva Hastasana. Exhale, chair pose. Inhale, rise up. Do not think perfectionistically about pacing the breath, please. Exhale, Uttanasana, keeping your legs steady as you bow forward. Inhale, glide forward. Exhale, left toes back. Use the entire exhale length, pacing backwards on your alphabet. And then inhale, rise, crescent lunge. And exhale, descend. And come slowly down. So the stability of the body and the breath is even how you pace yourself with the exhale and the inhale, step forward. So no part of the physical actions, Uttanasana, are being rushed or chaotic. Inhale, glide forward. And think of this more as like the art of elegance, not the art of controlling something. So exhale, right toes back. Your alphabet goes backwards to the letter A, and then inhale, rise up, pacing your breath so it's equal for you. And exhale to descend. Inhale now, downward dog pose. Exhale, forward plank pose. Inhale, Chaturanga Dandasana. Exhale down to the floor. Point your toes. Sweep your arms straight back. Inhale, Salambhasana. Exhale down to the floor, palms beneath your shoulders. Inhale, Cobra pose. Exhale to lower down to the floor. Inhale, seal pose. Exhale, forward and down through Cobra, back to the floor. Toes under. Inhale, plank. And then downward facing dog pose. Now for 3 breath cycles, practice making the breath steady, simple, smooth. So you're not racing, there's no competition, it's not how far can you go with the inhale. Please do not make yourself breathless. At the end of your next exhale, in that little pause, then step your awkward foot forward, second foot forward, inhale your heart forward. And then exhale, staying in the pace of your breath, come down to Uttanasana. Now inhale to rise, Urdhva And Anjali Mudra, counting backwards in the alphabet until you arrive at the A. And so we're going to work out a couple of yayas now. We're going to change the pace of the breath, and we're going to do something that's dynamic where when you step back like this, you'll be taking the arms up. When you step forward, like this, your fists arrive here. So it's going to be a brisk inhale through the nose and a brisk exhale out the mouth, like this. You can join me. Stand really still. So we were relatively rhythmic with that, pretty steady. What happens now to the mind? Even if your heart rate and your body are processing the echo of that. Okay, now let's try this. So you'll inhale, stepping back, it's brisk through the nose like this. And then warrior two. And then the inhale brings the left arm forward. And then we step forward. Like that. Okay, so this is 2 breaths for 1 cycle, a couple poses put together. We're working out what I call the yayas, the mental yayas. Let me fix this, it looks like it's crooked. I don't want you guys to have vertigo. We'll see. Okay, I don't want to have vertigo either. Okay, so arms will be up with fingers, 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 and then when you come back here. Okay, let's begin left foot back first. Once more each side. Last one. And then stand really still. Samastitihi. Of course, you might be watching your body's echo of all that, but notice if the witness or the watcher, the observer in you, might feel more stable, more steady. Maybe you have greater access to it. Now we're going to add a little movement to the beginning of that. So it'll be a 3-part sequence. So it goes like this. On the inhale, you go up, and then the exhale, So your back, like, I don't know, the arms are kind of like when you go, as if you've done this, the ski jump, what it looks like, right? So it's back like this, and then we inhale. So we continue. We're going to start with this little precursor. Okay, so left knee first. Right knee. Left. Right. Left. Right. Stand really still. It's possible that your breath rate and your heart rate are both different from each other. And the rate of thoughts might also be different. I'd like you to get a chair to place on your mat, and I'll set mine up as a profile view. You can set yours up how you want to, of course. Whatever works for you. Okay, so this position, I caused my yoga mat to move when I was stepping back. So what we're going to be doing will be slower, methodical explorations of what we were just doing. So we're going to go back to the inhale, exhale being equal. And let's start with chair dog, since most of you know that one. So if you place your hands, index fingers and thumbs on the chair, the other three fingers to the sides of the chair, then step backwards. And start breathing in and out through your nose, where you can pace again, like inhale, A, B, C, and so on. And the exhale, you can do the alphabet backwards. So your mind has to add some concentration. My hope is that it pulls you away from the ceiling fan of thoughts and places you more in your body in a loving and caring manner. This is not a competition with yourself even. It's not like one breath to the next is competing, and no sense of perfectionism. And do one more breath cycle there, please. Now, keeping your left foot where it is, step your right foot forward. So the left foot, if you keep it back like you're on cross-country skis, you might be feeling your left calf muscles stretching. So keep the left heel grounded back there. Root down from the back of your left hip. I want you to press and tone the left hip muscle. Press down through your left leg bones into your left heel. And slowly bend your right knee towards the chair. So you're going to be deepening the request of your left leg. So as you bend your right knee, keep your left heel grounded and the left butt toned. So I want your pelvis actually coming a little bit forward while you keep your left heel steady. And keeping the left hand on the chair seat, reach your right hand up over the upper back of the chair. So now your pose is asymmetrical in both arms and legs. And as you next inhale, start to slide your right hip back, straighten your right leg, stretch the right hemisphere of the torso. And then keeping your left heel grounded, exhale, bend your right knee so that the stretch for the right side waist kind of loosens up a little bit. And then root down and straighten your right leg slowly. Lengthen your right side waist. Do that 3 times more. Try to keep the left arm also straight and strong so you have force moving in all 4 limbs. And one more time. Last one. Inhale to strengthen your right leg and lengthen your right side waist. And then place your right hand back on the chair seat, left hand out to the side of the chair seat, step backwards, chair dog, and then left foot forward. And keep the right heel planted behind you. I know for some of you that's going to feel awkward. Like I don't have flexible ankles, so the extent to which I can bend my front knee is limited by the flexibility of my ankle. But it does make the calf stretch more honest. And then press from your right butt down into your right heel. So the whole right leg is like an anchor or a taproot. And begin to bend your left knee. And then reach your left hand over the upper back of the chair. And we're going to make the breath relatively equal here. So inhale and straighten your left leg. Keep your right arm steady. Stretch into your left side waist. Then exhale, bend your left knee, keeping your right heel grounded and the right butt toned. Inhale, lengthen. Press into your left heel and your right hand, right heel. Exhale to bend. Inhale, lengthen. And exhale to bend. One more time. Inhale to lengthen. And exhale here. Keep the right butt strong, right heel anchored. Place your left hand on the side of the chair, right hand on the side of the chair. Step backwards, please. And then walk forward and rise up to standing. So I'm going to demonstrate, and I wish I had a lazy Susan. This whole thing was like turning as you're watching, but I don't have that option. So what I'm going to show you is a variation on Parsvakonasana and Parsvottanasana. So that's Parsvakonasana, Parsvottanasana. They each have the word Pars. Parsva means the side. Actually means flank, if you want to know. So what we're going to do, you can watch for a moment, please. When you step forward this time from your chair dog here, I'm going to have you turn the back heel only slightly in. In Parsvakonasana, usually we have the foot turned a little further out, but we're going to keep it at this angle here. When you step in like that, and you're going to bend the front knee, please keep watching. We're going to rotate like you're doing Parsvakonasana. And we'll be looking to see if you could bring this hand down by side bending the torso. And then, please watch once more. I'm going to turn back to Parsvottanasana, the place where you just were. And then I'm going to come back in to this Parsvakonasana. And we'll raise it up. And then we'll come back down. And then we'll be straightening through here. Okay, so let's try it together. My glasses are in my way of my arms, so I'll take them off. So please step your right foot forward towards your chair, from your chair dog, and put the left foot at kind of a small angle, right? It's not really turned out that far. It's kind of turned mostly forward. And check your Parsvottanasana would make sense right here. And then please bend your right knee. And sweep your left arm past your left ear. And let's get this pose organized so we know we're starting at this base. And we're going to go towards the chair, and then we're going to come back. So to organize this, press firmly into your left heel, left big toe, left pinky toe. Tone your left butt. Root from your left inner belly down through your left leg into your left heel. And lift into your left side waist. You know that in a moment we're going to side bend that. So now, keeping your left leg very steady, let the torso side bend, like a wisteria. The branch, the vine, whatever you want to call that. The invasive species. And then press into your right hand and rotate to Parsvottanasana. So you'll be gazing down. And then exhale, bend your right knee. Place your right elbow on your knee. Inhale, open Parsvottanasana, the side angle pose. Exhale, side bend. Press into both hands. Inhale, Parsvottanasana. So your hips turn towards the floor, heart turns towards the floor. Exhale, bend your right knee. Place your elbow on your knee if you like. Keep the left leg steady, left butt strong. Inhale, open. Exhale, side bend. Keeping the left butt and heel strong. And then inhale, Parsvottanasana, gazing down. Press into your right hand and left heel. And then one more time, exhale to bend. Right knee. Inhale, Parsvottanasana. And exhale, side bend. Good. And inhale, gaze down, strengthen. And place your left hand back on the chair seat, right hand on the chair seat, and step backwards, make the feet parallel. And there you are. Now, step your left foot forward, and just turn the right heel at kind of a small angle, right? So, not a big angle because we're combining the two poses, Parsvottanasana and Parsvottanasana. Check your distance. And then bend your left knee, and let's start with Parsvottanasana. So press into your right heel, right big toe, pinky toe, and then firm your right butt. Don't leave it out. I said this a couple days ago. Just because you're wearing the glutes doesn't mean you're using them. I'm quoting Shirley Sauerman when I say that. So make the entire right leg strong so that as you reach, your side bend is truly side bending from a stable anchor. Now press into your left palm on the chair, rotate to face the chair, and exhale, bend your left knee. Inhale, reach and open. Exhale, side bend, side bend, side bend. Inhale, press down, glide your hips back, straighten your left arm. And glide through as you bend your left knee. Keep the right heel anchored, right butt strong. Inhale, open. And exhale, side bending, side bending. Good. Inhale to straighten your left leg, lengthen your right side waist. And last one. Breathing in, A, B, C, and so on. Breathing out, H, G, F, E, so on. And then breathing in, pacing for yourself. And place each hand on the chair seat. And step backwards one more time, chair dog. And then please step forward and rise up to stand. Mountain pose, Samasthiti. And listen for the possibility that there is a quality in the mind that gets consistently more steady. This is an aspect of who we are. It's actually a larger aspect than our Ferris wheel mind or our ceiling fan thought habits. It is the witness, the observer, the steady gaze. And then I'd like you to come down to the floor. You probably want to have a blanket for your knees. So let me recommend the blanket that I like to use sometimes for when we do child's pose. I'll recommend that for this adventure. So you roll this, a long blanket roll, like so. And the blanket goes like this, so the knees are going to be on the blanket roll, but your shins will not be. You won't know your distance until you try it out. And so let me check my distance and see. Yep, so this is child's pose. Of course, the head will not make it to the floor. And in this child's pose, we're going to reach under to make this kind of twisting child's pose, and your head will not reach the floor. So please set up, the reason to have the blanket for the knees is not only padding, it's also that your hips are then lower than your knees are. So we're going to try to stretch into the back waist a bit. For those of you for whom your lumbar spine doesn't round that much, and I'm one of those people, some of you may be similar genetically, or it could be you've had a tight psoas and that has taken the lumbar curve and made it less supple, less variable. So here in child's pose, let your hips descend towards your heels. And see if you can allow the breath into the back of your waist. Like think of inhaling to your sacrum. The sacrum is a triangular shaped bone at the base of the spine. Imagine the inhale continues to widen up your back from the sacrum to this muscle. Actually, if you know the name of it and where it is, it's called latissimus dorsi. It's a very large muscle across the back, shaped a little bit like the letter V. It's responsible for back bending. It contributes to side bending. And there's a shoulder component to it as well. Now keeping your right hand on the chair seat firmly and keep the right tricep turned towards your nose. Walk the left arm under. And let the left side and left shoulder melt towards the floor. But keep your right arm in integrity. And press down into your right hand. Float your left hand up to the chair seat. Take the right arm under. Maybe the back of your elbow will reach the floor. Keep the left arm steady as you let the right shoulder girdle, right shoulder blade, melt down towards the floor. And press down into your left hand. Float your right hand up over the chair seat. And then press down with both knees. Roll up. Now curl your toes under so that you can stretch the soles of the feet. So toes curled under. And see if you can sit back on the heels. So I've said this before, and some of you have known me for a long time. I do not have, and never have had, probably never will have flexible toes. Even in all my toe stretching ideas, I don't have flexible toes. You might, but I do not. And so the toe stretch is also, for some of you, it's going to be a stretch for the arches of your feet. Other people, you might be experiencing your knees or your quads right now. And see if you can find some mental steadiness with whatever is occurring. Now, if you happen to have stiff feet like I do, we are going to come up to the toe balance. I want there to be a block back there for when we squat, but I'm going to ask you to see, can you come to your toe balance from here? Now the knees are lower than they were yesterday, so it may be appropriate that you take like a little yoga support and you pick the knees up. Do not balance on the block behind you right now. See if the knees can come to parallel, so thighs and knees are parallel. Take the arms forward. This is called toe balance, actually. I can't remember the Sanskrit name for it, but it's called toe balance in English. Now, keeping your balance, bring both hands down to the outside of your right thigh. And please twist to your right. And if you're balancing pretty well, keep the right arm fixed, raise your left arm. You are looking for steadiness, right? And then coming down, both arms forward, toe balance. And then both arms across. Right hand, left hand together to start. Twist to your left. And if you are balanced, and it means that you haven't raised the knees, you haven't lowered the knees, you're balancing on your toes. Your hips can be near your heels, and you can twist to your left. And lower that one down, and then reach down to squatting, and this is where I am going to put a block under my heels because they won't reach the floor. And in squatting, see if your knees could come into your armpits. Make space for the belly, please. You can bow your head. Now put the left shoulder inside your left knee. Hold your right ankle with your left hand. Take your right hand to your right thigh and please twist to your right. Think about swishing your lower belly across your lap. And then bring your right arm forward. Put the right armpit inside the right knee. Hold your left ankle with your right hand. Left hand to your left thigh and swish your belly across your lap to the left. And then rotate around to come forward, and we're going to lower the knees down to the blanket, so you can use your little yoga tool. Place your hands on the chair seat, toes curled under, scoot your other block aside and stretch backwards to your chair dog pose. Step over your blanket hurdle, high as it is, and rise up to Samastitihi, to mountain pose. And try to observe, like a little bit of retrospective reflection, how steady was the mind in the unknowns? And pay close attention to what's happening down through your legs, into your knees, your shins and calves, ankles, heels, arches, toes. Take the right toes, curl them under. Stretch your foot in the other direction. You can roll across the top of the foot if you like. So this is the direction that my foot goes easily. I've always been able to point my toes pretty far. And that wasn't particularly from gymnastics, because my brother also did this a lot and he was never a gymnast. My sister did this and she was also a gymnast, but this sort of pointing of the toes was easy, and the other direction, we don't really have that one. Not very much. It meant that I hardly ever fell off the balance beam. So what it was, we'll curl the left toes under. And roll across so the top of your foot gets some relief. So we are encouraged in yoga to seek stable tranquility, and that's called stitau. Sti means stable, like samastitihi, and tau is for tranquility, to seek stable tranquility. At the same time, we are told there is no one solid thing onto which you can hold, including who you think you are in this personality matrix. There's not a solid thing that you can hold on to as being permanent. So why do they tell us to seek stable tranquility? We probably need it for the recognition that there's nothing solid to hold on to. We'll come back to mountain pose and see what this is like, please. Okay, now I'd like you to have a yoga strap and 2 blankets with your chair. Okay, so the yoga strap loop, I want you to set it up so that your loop is going to let you have your wrists shoulder width apart. You've asked me about this a couple days back in a different class. Some of you asked. Of course, the strap can be wider, especially when you think about this is going to be behind you and you'll be lying down. So if this is not easy for you to get the arms to go back like this with a strap, if the shoulders feel like they have to tip forward, if they're arguing with you, make the strap a little bit wider until you can use it successfully. And then let's bring both blankets into view. I would like each blanket now folded like this one. So I'll show you with this other blanket that I have to redo. Okay, so you get a long rectangle blanket like this, and you fold it in half, lengthwise, twice. Put the fringes under your chair because they're going to be more flimsy. Make the firm edge of the blanket here. This is where your upper thoracic spine is going to be. Now, lying down onto this is a little bit tricky. It's true, it's tricky. So what you're going to do is estimate that when you lie down, your head's going to be here, your upper shoulder blades are going to be here, your hips will be here, your legs will be there. And lo and behold, you need this yoga strap, so the strap is going to go at the ready. You go like this, put it underneath. So you have your strap somewhere near where your hands are going to be able to find it. Okay? Is that getting too complicated for Sunday morning? Well, you're here now, so please stay. All right, so when you lie on your blankets, you make your best effort, and if you don't quite get it the first time, you do it again. So we go like this, and I say to myself, okay, I want my left shoulder to be just at the edge there. And then I rolled over sideways like I'm actually in bed. Okay, and the blanket is at the very upper thoracic spine and at the base of the cervical spine. You can bring your feet to the front of your chair for a moment and take the arms overhead. So this should open up the upper chest, the sternum, the collarbones. Your neck will not be flat to the floor, of course. The head is touching, but because you're elevated on these two blankets, the neck, I hope, should feel very free. And if you reach back, you can sense little to no tension in the neck. Now, without turning your head sideways, so you don't have to look at me, I'll try to be really good with my words. Bring your arms down like you're about to do bridge pose. Reach for your yoga strap so you can take your hips off the blanket for a moment so that you can slip your wrists into your strap. When you've got your wrists there, I want you to press out against the strap with your wrists and squeeze your shoulders down towards the floor, where you're going to be forced to kind of squeeze the blanket with your shoulder blades. And make that a good, strong squeeze. So you're squeezing the shoulders back. See if you can do that without raising your lumbar spine off the blanket in any kind of dramatic way. So the back of the sacrum, the lumbar spine, even the back of the diaphragm could stay down against the blanket. And press the shoulders down and down towards the floor. And then exhale, relax that effort. Take the arms overhead once again. So just rest your arms like you're having a suntan. So the blanket is feedback to your shoulders. It's also a little spacer for your neck to have some freedom here. Please take your arms back into your loop-de-loop. Press out against the strap and squeeze your shoulders down towards the floor. So the blanket being right there at the upper thoracic spine and the shoulders pressing down. Please don't also pull your hair. I just liberated my hair. As you press the shoulders down and down, now press into your footprints on the chair and go up to just like a little baby bridge pose. You're not going to raise the hips very high, just a couple inches off the blanket, and squeeze the shoulders back. Squeeze the shoulders down and in towards the blanket. And then lower your hips back to the blanket. You're only an inch or two up from the blanket, so now you take the arms overhead one more time. Reach your feet up to tip the chair to support your knees. Check and see, what is the length of your breath cycle now? What are you capable of here? Let's do inhale from the low third of the pelvis to your mid third of the torso to the upper third of the heart. And then exhale from the base of your belly, inward, upward, along the sacrum as if it were a zipper. Okay, very good. Now place your feet at the front edge of the chair. Once again, put all four corners of the chair on the floor and scoot yourself back to the next vertebrae in the spinal column and take the arms into cactus pose like this. So where you're resting right now, the two blanket edges are right between the upper corners of your shoulder blades. If you reach one hand back, you should be able to feel that there's no big protrusions for the cervical spine right now. And if you do find the cervical spine number 7, which is the largest of the cervical vertebrae at the base of the neck, and then you walk down, you've got your first thoracic, second thoracic, and there's your blanket. If your upper back will stay put where it is, if the shoulders can keep moving towards the floor somewhat passively, somewhat actively, then you can try bringing your knees up towards your chest, which means that you're going to release your feet from the chair seat, and you must use the deep low abdomen to do that. So if your shoulders pop up as you bring the knees towards the chest, if your chin pushes out, then you're trying to use your rectus abdominis instead of the deeper abdominal muscles. And if that's hard to negotiate right now, then just keep your feet resting on the chair seat. So I really want this cascade of the shoulders down towards the floor. We only bring the knees in if it's not disturbing that cascade. And for those of you who brought the knees in, you'll feel like the belly muscles, though they're toned, are kind of like a little bit hollow. And once more, touch the feet back to the seat of the chair and go 2 more vertebrae off of the blanket. So now you're at the middle of the shoulder blades. Put your arms in cactus pose. And from here, please turn your head as far as it comfortably goes to your right and take the back of your right wrist to your left temple. As you keep your left shoulder heavy towards the floor, you rotate your nose to the right. Lengthen the muscles between your left ear and your left shoulder. Return your right hand to cactus. Roll your head to center. Roll your head to your left. And take the back of your left wrist to the outside of your right temple. And lengthen from your right ear to your right shoulder. Breathe into that region of your body where the neck muscles have also been carrying some of the stress of uncertainty, apprehension, or doubt. And then release your left arm back to cactus pose. And now scoot 2 more inches off of the blanket. Now you're at the base of the shoulder blades, the back of the diaphragm. See if you can curl the knees in towards the chest without the shoulders rising up. See if even you can lift the sacrum off of the blankets while the upper part of the torso stays really relaxed. And then lightly, lightly touch your feet to the seat of the chair. And now scooch backwards off of the blanket until you're at the top of the sacrum. And there you are, at the top of the sacrum. Let the knees fall towards the chest. Gravity's going to help you. The arms can stay in cactus pose. So this position, it seems like really benign or maybe kind of simple if somebody saw it in a yoga advertisement. But you're allowing the vayus, the 5 vayus, to get kind of recalibrated here. So this is an important one where the knees drop into the chest and you're addressing the apana vayu, which is seated in the pelvis. now thoughtfully roll down to your right side. Use your arms to slow down the journey. The knees can come in like fetus position. Press up. Glide these two blankets back. Put your strap aside. Take your two blocks. Place them on the medium setting like this, please. And come up so that the back of your sacrum is supported by that little triangle shape that I made with the blocks. Tuck the shoulders under so it's like a kind of a active / passive bridge pose for the shoulders. And then the sacrum is just resting between the two blocks for right now. Please close the eyes, or let your gaze be really quiet and unfocused. And since you have your shins up on the chair seat and possibly your feet are up on the upper back of the chair, your body does experience this as a gentle inversion. If you're not inverting the pelvis today because of your menstrual cycle, then this would not be your pose. It's not a huge inversion, but you may want to be considerate about that. Now let's place the soles of the feet at the front of the chair in Baddha Konasana. Invite the sacrum and the pelvis to relax. Bring the knees in, point up towards the ceiling. Pick up your hips, put the blocks down on the flat setting, and when you come down now, you'll be resting between the ilium bones at the back of the trochanter. Take the knees wide again. And then bring the knees back to center. Now, take the blocks and scooch them out like a half an inch or so that when you come down and you go to Baddha Konasana, you're going to feel the trochanter bones are against the edges of the block. We did part of this yesterday, so that might feel familiar to some of you. Let the sacrum relax down between the two edges of the blocks. And you can bring your left shin up over the chair seat, right shin up over the chair seat. Allow the sacrum to keep descending. And decide for yourself if this is a comfortable way to have your Shavasana. In fact, it could be quite comfortable for some of you. For some of you, the answer will not be yes. You can change to having no support under the pelvis for Shavasana, and we can keep the legs elevated if you'd like. Let the eyes close if you haven't already, and try to sense your body at the subtle body, so not the musculoskeletal as much as the subtle body. We were recalibrating what are called the 5 vayus. And see if there might be this kind of helpful downward energy where the mind can go down towards the pelvis. Invite your mind to stay at rest in your pelvis, to be kind of at home there. And welcome the possibility that your mind actually can become stable, grounded, at ease. Allow the mind to rest and to rest again and again. Welcome your mind again to be heavy with relaxation, to be steady and tranquil, stithao. So welcome that process again, the mind not disturbing the inner stability or tranquility of the body. Now, keeping the mind still, bring awareness to the lap belt muscles, so right across your lap where you'd put your seat belt. Gently tone right there and bring the knees up towards knees to chest position. Your sacrum should then come to the floor and the blankets, the blocks can be gently pulled out to the side. Roll to your side. And you can come up to sit. Perhaps you can sit in Sukhasana now without support under your hips. You can try it. I'm not saying you have to do it that way. It's possible that your hips will feel more comfortable. Rest your hands out over your knees. As you sit for a minute or so here, Consider how much our world, our planet, our ecology, our civilization, we do need many more citizens who are able to be steady, tranquil, clear, wise, tapped into a larger view, not so muddled by our own dilemmas. Because you're here this morning, I'm nominating you to be some of these people. Which we now needs a lot of yoga. We need to practice, to resolve the physiological obstacles, habits, reflexes. And to build the internal fortitude, this vessel to be steady, to be vital. You can join your hands together at your heart, please. We'll chant Loka Samasta together. May we and all beings everywhere be able to access Sukhi, ease, Bhava, the attitude. May there be access to stability and ease. Loka Samasta Sukhino Bhavantu. Loka Samasta Sukhino Bhavantu. Thank you very much, everyone. Namaste. So I will come up closer where I can find out a bit more how you experienced parts of class and how you are, and any questions that you have. Let me change my view for a moment, please. Okay, hi. You've been nominated, Maren, yes. I've nominated you all to be the citizens. We're going to be the more stable, more clear. I'm nominating you because you're here practicing yoga, so life has already chosen this for you. Right? Yeah.